So, welcome back. Today we're gonna talk a little bit about Yoshimitsu's playstyle, if you should use him offensively or defensively, mix up heavy or maybe a little bit crushy. I used to play him, when I started playing defensive, I spinned a ton, like I almost spent half of my life bar spinning because it looked so cool and I could defend against characters I actually couldn't. So at lower ranks and like mid-tier ranks it worked out very well, but then when I started fighting a little bit better opponents and to be honest, it really started to bother me when I played the same opponents over and over again. Like my training partners, they adapted to Yoshimitsu very easily, and then my gimmicks didn't work out as well. Then I went into P mode, and of course I didn't lab the opponent's character. I just found out some gimmicks, some setups. They worked for a little bit longer, but then I realized, okay, I have to change something. And now I play a very, very defensive Yoshimitsu, revolving around med stance and his cancels, and a lot about getting an early life lead with gimmicks. Of course you need them. And after that, turtle your ass off. Since I now kinda know how to throw break, sometimes I get clipped, but now I think I have like 50%, a little bit more succession ratio. So now I'm not afraid anymore, and I just turtle my ass off, to be honest. And Yoshimitsu is a very good turtle. People really underrate him in that regard, but yeah. The problem is to get the life lead, to be honest, because Yoshimitsu's offense is very weak and you don't have two good lows to establish a life lead without risking your whole life bar. And now I will tell you the key moves that I use. The first one, of course, is tsunami kicks. Everyone knows that who watches my channel. It's +3, it's a mid-mid. It has a lower hitbox now. It's just great. I will not explain too much, but the move is just great. Forward 1+2 is a mid that tracks to, I think it's his left. If they block it, you can still input crouch -2 or some gimmicks if you want, but I just most likely do it to keep the opponent in check. It's not as good as a demon paw, but it kind of acts the same way. Yeah, it's good. And then I do a lot of down 2-2, which you can delay quite a bit, because the second hit is quite delayable and it's a counter hit launcher, and you got extensions to cover it, because if they block it, I think it's -11, if I'm not sure. But if you hit it, it's +7, so that means that you can just do a down for 2, and it covers a lot of range, and with the extension you just go full screen, I think, almost, which is quite good. And now we come to the thing that really changed my Yoshimitsu and my win rate. It's med-3 canceling. Meditation, like 3+4, goes into meditation stance, and if you press back, down, back, he will move like this. As you can see, it covers a shitload of ground. And you can also cancel by just pressing forward or back, down forward, or just down to sidestep or up. Stance itself, you got meditation 3, which is a cartwheel, like a typical cartwheel. It's +7 on block, which makes back turn 2 afterwards uninterruptible. And back turn 2 is a counter hit launcher, of course, and only -4. But it's a high, and this move as well, if it hits from like a little bit of distance, it looks like this, and it gives you a combo. It's a little bit of access, so you have to realign. Let me just find the sweet spot. Yeah, I mean, there are better combos. It keeps them a little bit of access to the left, so you have to realign, but the move has quite some range to it, and even if you whiff it, you can spin very quickly to evade punishment. Or if you're fighting a character like Kazuya with an electric to fear, then you just do down 1. Yeah. Good opponents, or like not good, but decent opponents will duck after blocking this, because most people are doing the low or the high. Since then you can just back turn hop kick sometimes. I wouldn't recommend doing that versus good opponents, because they will just walk you and you're gonna get fucked, but against bad opponents or like mid-tier, it's okay. The stance, of course, heals. You cannot see that in practice mode, but if you keep doing it, it will heal, regenerate health, and you can also do 1+2. I did this a couple of times to steal some rounds, and the opponent was like, what the fuck? And of course, you can cancel a mat with 3+4 and stay into back turn. Only pretty useful if you want to go into back turn 2 immediately, because the punches afterwards cover a lot of ground, and of course if the first one counted, it's a launcher. Yeah, but why am I doing this stance? Because I showed you the cartwheel, which is a mid, and you also can do the low. If you inputting, I am inputting back, down, back 1. There are people who tell me that this is easier. If you're pressing down forward 4, 4 down forward 4 is what I'm pressing. And my success rate is not as good with like down, down, back, to be honest, but you can do it as well. This one is I-17 low, that is only -13. It is +3 on hit, and on counter hit, it gives you, what the hell? It gives you this. Which is great, of course. It covers more ground than you think. Like, and it's actually, in my opinion, it's unsteppable. I didn't got it step once, I think. So the low is very good for fishing for counter hits. The mid is very good for hindering the opponent on getting in. And of course the back down back dash covers a lot of ground, and as you can see, so if your opponent whiffs something or tries to approach with an electric, you can of course use your while standing punishment to punish them heavily, or like if they're jabbing you. And of course you can also sidestep, which if you keep like this, you're gonna sidewalk. Which is good as well if they're trying slash kick, for instance. And of course, if they try to tackle you, or if you're gonna try to waste time, you can cancel it with 3+4 and then immediately input a crouch dash 1 into Kitchu like I showed you before, and if they tackle you, you input the 3 and get a back turn hop kick on them, or you can just run away, of course. Of course, you can also like just turn around with forward, which sometimes is good, like against Shao Yu's running 3 or stuff, or if you have no sword out and you want to score a counter hit 2, can be quite good. Yeah, and of course you can just do it like this and block, just by holding back. You can also backdash like this, but it's not as evasive. But you can hold back from that and block very quickly. And in no sword stance, this stance is actually ridiculous, because if you backdash like this and you stay here, you got access to your full crouch sweep, which covers, like you can see from here, it's like range 250, I think it hits from, so clean hit, you will get your combo. And of course now you can just use wild standing 1 to always get your combo. And if you're like that, like in the no sword stance, this really becomes a threat, because if they approach, you can now of course input your flash from crouching, which is also a very nice defensive option. I'm sorry that I'm fucking it up once in a while, because I'm not playing on player 2 anymore. I don't know why I choose player 2 for this video. And of course, if they start like dashing in and back dashing back, you can start implementing things like this. It's just, it covers a lot of ground, and I'm just gonna tell you straight away, my win rate and my feeling with Yoshimitsu improved so much when I start using this, like abusing this. I'm using this like 60% of the match. Of course, there are things that they can do to you. Like for instance, I chose Kazuya because if he like catches your back, it hurts. Like he's gonna do, I think he can do this. which is like almost, sorry, I'm not a Kazuya player, but if he catches you with wild standing 4 in your back, you're gonna eat 1, 2, 3, 4 into forward 4, 4, 4, 4, I think. Which is, depends on the character. Also depends against Kazuya, I wouldn't use the low too much because it's minus 13 and you can launch it, but a lot of characters cannot, so the risk reward is in your favor if you're doing this low. All you're gonna do is learn how to nail it every time, what I'm failing right now. The stance itself is a little bit tricky, but if you got it down, your Yoshimitsu will improve a lot. So I hope you learned something. I want to say that I'm not like bashing people who play him very gimmicky or very offensively. I used to do that as well. It's just for me, since he got 2 safe low crushes and good stance ability, I just stopped it. I just started even using Dragonfly into Dragonfly 2 from full screen if they get him. Like, this character is so good defensive wise, I think people really underestimate it. Yeah, I hope that helped you out, and I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.